Hey everyone, we recently finished our unit on money and time. Now we're going to start into a new unit, and that's going to be about shapes. Our goal for today is I can use attributes to match shapes. Sounds tricky because attributes is a big word, but I think you'll find in a minute it's not too hard. Hello, we're going to start talking about shapes. Can you find something in your room, at your house, that is the same shape as me, a rectangle? So look around your house a second, see if you see any rectangles. How did you know that they're the same shape? We can describe or define shapes by how they look. Let's look at some 2D shapes. So 2D just means flat. And those are probably most of the shapes that you're familiar with are shapes that are flat. Like a ball's not a 2D shape because that's round. We're just going to focus on 2D or flat shapes today. Some 2D shapes have straight sides. Some do not. Triangle here, the sides are straight. In a circle, they're round. Some 2D shapes have corners or vertices. Vertices is just a fancy word for corners. And some do not. Okay, a circle has no corners. That means that it has no vertices. All 2D shapes are closed. What that means is that the sides are touching. So you see how all the sides are touching on this rectangle here. On this though, it's open. They're not all touching. So this is a closed shape, this is not closed. So this is a 2D shape, this is not. It has to be closed in order to be a shape. How many straight sides are there in this shape? How many vertices? And is it closed? So go ahead and get your Show Me app. And you can always pause it if you're not ready yet. Okay, so how many straight sides? Let's start by drawing the rectangle. Straight sides, we see 1, 2, 3, 4 straight sides. Then it says how many vertices. Remember, vertice is just a fancy word for corner. So we have one corner here, 2, 3, 4. So the rectangle has 4 straight sides and also has 4 vertices. And then finally it's asking if it's closed. Remember, closed just means that all the sides are touching. So if you look around, yes. A rectangle is closed. Now we're going to look at this shape here. This is a trapezoid. How many straight sides? So why don't you go ahead on your Show Me app, write how many straight sides there are. Right, hopefully you see that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 straight sides. How many vertices? Remember, vertices are just the corners. Go ahead and write that down. Hopefully you wrote that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 corners or vertices. And then finally, is it closed? Take a look at that. Okay, yes, it is closed because the sides are all touching. So that is a rhombus. Or a trapezoid. It's a 2D shape. And now we're going to do our circle here. How many straight sides on the circle? Give you a minute to look at that and write that down. Well, you see how it's all curved? There's actually no straight sides on a circle. How many vertices? Vertice is a word for corner. The drawing up here is better than mine. You can see that there's actually no corners at all. So 0 vertices, 0 corners, but is it closed? Again, the drawing up here is better than mine. And you should be able to see that, yes, in fact, it is closed. Everything's touching. So no vertices or straight sides, but it's closed, so it is a 2D shape. And now let's look at this over here. How many vertices? Well, you can see that there's 1, 2. Here's where it gets a little tricky. These are actually not vertices. These are not corners. In order to be a corner, notice how you have this one going this way and that one going that way. They meet right there. They meet right here. This doesn't meet anything. That doesn't meet anything. So there's only 2 vertices here. And then is it closed? Well, you can see right here there's this big open space, so no, it's not closed. Not all the sides touch. These two don't touch each other. That's why there's no vertice there. Okay, hopefully you're not having too much trouble with this. Okay, next we're going to draw a closed shape with 3 vertices. I'm going to give you a second, see if you can figure that out. And as always, you can just pause it if you're not ready yet. But closed, remember that means all the sides have to touch. 3 vertices. So I have a vertice, 1, 2, 3 vertices. Those are where my corners are going to be. Now I just have to connect the dots. 1 straight line, 2 straight lines, 3 straight lines. Notice how they're all touching each other, and that makes a triangle. A triangle has 3 straight sides, 3 vertices. Now there's a number of ways you could draw triangles. It could look like this, or that, or like this. Should make sure it connects. I know it's kind of tricky to draw on this, so I know that your drawing might not be perfect, but all those are examples of a closed shape with 3 vertices, also known as the triangle. And please watch the next part of this video to finish up this lesson.